You finish a sugary dessert before bed and turn out the lights. But as you drift off to sleep, your biology is just powering up. That late-night sweet treat hits your digestive system as a massive metabolic load. Instead of winding down, your body now has to process a huge influx of sugar, precisely during its intended resting window. The arrival of all that glucose kicks off a relentless sequence of biological events. To clear the sudden surge of sugar out of your bloodstream, your pancreas has to release a large wave of a hormone called insulin. This completely hijacks the body's normal sleep cycle. What should have been a quiet period of cellular repair turns into an exhausting, high-capacity industrial shift. That initial spike of insulin sets off a chain reaction across the factory floor. As the insulin tries to clear the sugar, the liver releases insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. Think of this hormone as a biological site manager, sounding the alarms, demanding extra machinery to handle the sudden load. Looking at this diagram of a cellular power generator, a tiny structure called a mitochondrion, we can see it rapidly absorbing that incoming sugar. To process the shipment, it runs at maximum speed, pushing the internal dials straight into the overload red zone. Overheating from max capacity, it stops producing clean energy, instead leaking unstable toxic oxygen scraps, known as reactive oxygen species. Because these skin cells spent the entire night overheating and fighting toxic sparks, instead of resting, they face a severe energy deficit by the time the sun comes up. And as the hours take by, the demanding labor only intensifies. The overnight surge of growth hormones acts as a master switch in the skin's oil-making factories. Specialized cells called sebocytes receive the signal and are forced to power on full blast. This creates a massive surge of sebum, the skin's natural oil, filling the biological production lines with a heavy layer of excess grease. At the same time, we observe the impact on the skin's outer defensive walls. This diagram shows individual brick-like skin cells, called keratinocytes, beginning to warp. The molecular glue holding them together, known as ZO1, breaks apart under high blood sugar stress. With bricks misaligned, large gaps form in the barrier. Crucial hydration leaks out and evaporates, a process known as transepidermal water loss. Between the overworked oil lines and the broken defensive walls, the skin loses its structural balance, leaving the surface coated in grease, yet starved of moisture. Beyond the surface damage, the sheer volume of that incoming sugar registers as a systemic threat, triggering the immune system's full-body alarm bells while you sleep. Your immune cells start releasing chemical warning proteins, called cytokines. One of the strongest alarms, interleukin-1 beta, signals your blood vessels to widen and rushes emergency defense fluids straight to your face. This continuous overnight flooding causes the facial tissues beneath the surface to swell and become heavily irritated. In a panicked attempt to protect you from the massive sugar load, the body accidentally subjects the face to unchecked, continuous inflammation. Finally, the sun rises, the chaotic night shift ends, and the overnight processing system begins to power down. The alarms turn off, leaving behind the visible results of all that metabolic labor. Those overheated, burnt-out cellular generators directly translate into a pale, dull, and completely exhausted complexion. The broken defensive walls and evaporated water manifest physically as dry, tight, peeling patches of skin on your cheeks. That overnight accumulation of emergency defense fluids creates the visible redness and swollen puffiness underneath your eyes. And those overloaded, hyperactive oil lines leave a thick, greasy shine sitting across your forehead and nose. These symptoms in the mirror are exactly what they appear to be: the physical receipt of a biological factory pushed to its absolute breaking point. Zooming out from the microscopic details, every single meal you eat serves as an active input to this biological overnight processing system. While one late-night sweet treat will not ruin your biology, your body continuously calculates and responds to these incoming metabolic loads every time you go to sleep. The outer layer of your skin serves as a live display board, broadcasting the exact operational state of the internal factory beneath it. The health, energy, and appearance of your morning face are the direct, visible consequences of the metabolic choices you made the night before.